Welcome to the Train Shop Weekly. This is Volume 1, Number 9. This is our little weekly video blog here at Henning's Trains, talking about what's new and talking about trains. Once again, I'm Bill Henning. That's my brother Harry Henning III, and Walt Herbine down on the end.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen?
So thanks for joining us, and we hope you'll hit like or subscribe or leave us some comments or questions that we can answer, or some topics to talk about. You know, we like your input. So usually we start off with what's new. A couple things are new this week. Not a whole lot came in this week. A couple magazines came in, I guess. What did we come in this week? One of our favorites, Rail Pace magazine. That's come in. They got some good Amtrak pictures.
Oh, imagine that Amtrak.
I wonder why.
Trains magazines. Amtrak, 50 years.
More Amtrak.
Model Railroader came in.
One of my favorites.
Model Railroader magazine came in. Yeah, I don't see any Amtrak. So.
That's okay. Gives you some good building tips in here.
That book.
This is the one I like.
Yeah, I paged through that. That's got some.
Really.
This is a special issue of Model Railroader came out with the best of industries, and it's got like 29 detailed projects in there. But this is actually a really good issue. A lot of good stuff in this one.
I was going through that the other day.
But there's no brewery.
No, but they had a nice power plant, some really nice buildings in this one.
Yeah, some nicely detailed and everything. But yeah, I was like, well, that's kind of but definitely for HO and what do you call it? I mean, it's kind of a cross breed type thing that you can use.
Oh yeah, I mean, majority of it's HO, but it all applies to any
the
scale.
same. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Any scale, so there's a lot of good
just
ideas.
upsize everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
half O.
Yeah.
So.
Get your scale ruler out and away you go.
Damn right.
So that's a really good issue. I highly recommend it. MTH, they're finally releasing their S-Gauge F7s. I know we have some Reading ones coming in next week. Guys have been waiting for, I don't know, a couple of years, I think, for these. So they're finally rolling in next week. You done trying to arrange them so
Yeah, I know.
can't see them? You can't see them.
I know. Just trying to figure out what to do with them.
Yeah, Walt pulled out or whatever. We had recently gotten in some of the GP7s from Lionel.
The Lionel Legacy Jeep 7s.
So Walt pulled a couple of them out to take a closer look at.
The ones we got up, they came out with 6 different road names. We got 4.
Obviously, you pulled out the Northern Pacific.
Yeah, kind of. What do you call it? It's kind of actually.
It's got two meanings.
I was kind of looking for some pictures to see if there was actually, without saying Northern Pacific on the side. Really didn't find anything, but Northern Pacific is my second kind of go-to railroad, besides trusty old Reading. Only because that was the first railroad train I ever got was the Northern Pacific. But some really neat.
I looked at it as a club.
Yeah.
The North Penn Railroad.
but it has some really nice features with the Legacy locomotive. I mean, the Legacy control system, able to run Legacy control mode, Train Master, command control mode, conventional mode, and with a standard trainer. Bluetooth control, operate with universal remote, Lion Chief app, Odyssey speed control, Legacy rail sound system featuring crew talk dialogue with different scenarios depending on whether the locomotive is in motion or stop. Train sounds that mimic realistic radio chatter when the locomotive is in motion or stop. 6 official railroad speeds with crew talk dialogue, 8 engine RPM levels, Legacy real-time quailing horn control with instant response with realistic signature quailing and correctly timed warning signals. 5 different horns to choose from for more customized experience. Single hit continuous bell mechanical bell sounds. 5 bell pitch for custom sounds. Sequential control plays sound effects of the entire trip, including warning sounds, announcements based on the movement and the speed of the locomotive. Current speed, fueling, dialogue, and refueling sound effects. IR transmitting for sensor track, dual powerful maintenance-free motors with momentum flywheels, electric couplers, front and rear, traction tires, refined conventional transmission control mode with lowering starting speed, fan-driven smoke, adjustable smoke output, directional lighting including LED lights, marker lights, front and rear, limited number boards, lighted cab, die-cast trucks and pilot, fuel tank, metal frame, high level separately applied metal details, engineer and conductor figures. I'm sorry if I
couldn't go into the basics.
Hey, Donna, what do you call?
That's okay.
But they're length 14 and a quarter long. Max minimum curve is 031, so this will run on anybody's layout and everything. And these were like
you didn't miss anything?
Not the 27.
You didn't miss anything?
Yeah, you're right. Nope, I don't think so.
I think we should go play with it.
Oh,
I
most
think so,
definitely.
too.
Try one out. All right, let's check it out.
Good, give it a run.
All right, well, while I'll put the engine on the track, Harry will give it a test run.
All right, let me get some power.
Let's get some power on here.
Let's see what kind of talk it's got.
All right, if we fire her up.
I think it looks more like it's a North Penn Railroad in lieu of Northern Pacific.
Nice sound there.
Dispatcher, are we clear through the next block? Over. That's affirmative. Your track is clear. Out. Big restriction on that curve up ahead. Batteries are off. That's correct. We're still getting a close test there. Over. Okay, copy that. Army up. Conductor on track 11, over. Highball. Highball 11. No, hold on there. We have FRE right here. Good enough, Betty. Give her the grip. She's slipping. Dispatcher, almost there. Pulling in now. Are we clear? Over. Copy that. Switch a line. You're clear inbound. Dispatcher out.
Alright, you want to go through the horns, the different horns that you can choose from?
Sounds like a button. Oh, is there different bells?
Dispatcher, arrived and standing by. Over. Very good. Hold for track orders. Dispatcher out.
I'm sorry, the calendar.
Finally, a highball. Let's get her rolling.
Got a lot of tonnage today. Better bunch in some slack before we start out.
Got an approach signal up ahead. Gonna have to back her down. Track crews out on the big fill. We've got to slow to 20 and make some noise as we pass milepost 29.
fun.
It's always fun testing out a new train, new engine.
All right, I have to fess up. I give Lionel credit on that one.
And your crew talk is cool, isn't it?
I'm impressed.
I do like the
That has way more crew talk than I expected. Some really good
each
signs.
speed intervals changes that crew talk as you're going along.
one thing I like to do, whatever they have different details for different railroads. Like this one, like the main central's got the bell on the front. And I never really seen the horn on the side like that before.
Yeah, then you got like the, what do you call the Santa Fe doesn't have the dynamic brakes.
It has the horn on the top.
Has a single goose horn that.
Yeah, so
well, that's what you hear in the sounds.
Oh yeah, the different horns. You had the single horn. You got the multiple. The
5 chime.
The multiple chime. You know, I seriously have to give Lionel credit on that one. They did do the crew talk. I am very impressed.
I like the section where the guy put in the wrong pin number for the.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. I mean, that was probably, I think, going through it, that the phone was the only one I heard come a second time, and there was a lot of crew talk on there. I mean, the sounds and everything.
Yeah, I love the radio chatter.
Slow down for the curve as we got into the curve.
Yeah, that's new. You know, I mean, it's
one of the I don't have much in MTH.
I have a lot of MTH.
But I do like the MTH, but the engine would sit there for a while. If it was sitting there and idling, and every now and then it would have chatter.
Yeah.
I wish Lionel would do that random chatter by itself once in a while.
I mean, MTH with my MTH, I can go through and there's a bunch of different crew talk scenarios.
Some of that random chatter really drives me nuts when I go to turn the layout on and all these engines fire up down the basement and I get chatter here, chatter there, chatter here, chatter there. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I only turn the layout on so I could test some equipment, and all Walt's engines are fired up in the other room.
but yeah, I mean, I'll have to give Lionel 2 thumbs up on the Jeep7s. I'm impressed with the crew talk.
The other thing that came in was that military set, starter set.
Yeah, it was a nice little set.
It's got a tank on there, a little gun car with.
Yeah, it's got a Fort Knox bullion car.
Yeah, we didn't open this up, but it's one of their starter sets, which I really like Lionel's starter sets. Of course, our favorite's the Pennsylvania Flyer, but this one's nice. I like what it's got, the tank, and I think it's something kids would really dig. That looks pretty cool.
All right, on to their tips tonight.
Yeah, Harry wanted to do some oiling tips.
A lot of you guys, I see you put an engine on and it's going like this around the track, and I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, it's a simple thing that it needs oil. Maybe we can get Bill to get some close-ups here of where to oil, so we can give you a general get the squeak out of this. But once we oil this, the squeak will be gone. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to oil the armature, and you want to get this little end here. That's the armature sticking out. That's one of the bushings there. So we want to get a couple drops of oil there. Now we want to get drops on the other side of the armature, on the brush plate. Now, the other thing is you got bushings right here for the gear, so we want to go there and right in here. They're your gears. Now I do put, some people don't, but I put a couple of light drops on all our side rods, just for the fact that they're moving parts on a running engine. On the bottom, what we want to do is we want to oil these bushings. There's 6 of them in this particular engine. This one's got a lot of dirt that needs to be cleaned out, and you'll find dirt like that. Let me try to get that out of there. That's from running on carpet.
So basically,
on an open rail.
So the key thing is oiling where the axle's going through the bushings.
Through the bushings, absolutely. So we want to make sure all 6 of them, all the way through, have oil in them. And then on the roller, you want a light drop on the edges so that the roller turns and spins freely. Okay, now once we've oiled that, you can hear this is a lot better than that squeal that we had to begin with, just for the fact that it got oiled. There are others where we have a diesel, and a diesel has these gears on the outside. And usually we will put just light oil, no grease, on the outside gears. Problem with adding grease is the grease picks up dirt goes through, but it chews the teeth up because some of you have ballast on your layout. Well, the ballast goes up through, jams the gear up, or it even just grinds it and it tears the gears up on them. So basically what you want to do is you want to oil your outer gears, oil your bushing sections in here where the gear pivots on your internal drive. Now this is where the motor and your gear set together. This you want to fill with grease. This is one of the greases we recommend because it's plastic compatible. Okay, this is the oil that we recommend for a lot of them. It's also a plastic.
I know the
compatible.
Excel oil we typically use here at the shop. I know there's several, like LaBelle's a real popular one.
Bell, yes.
I mean, it's kind of Excel, and LaBelle is kind of like Ford versus Chevy, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The other thing is on these older motors, everybody sees this and they say, oh, I put oil there. You don't. That's just an adjuster nut for the armature to adjust your tension up and down. In actuality, you have to go down inside and oil the motor brush there, and then you can oil your motor bearings that sit in the back there. And like I say, we use a heavy oil for that, and that'll allow this to spin nice and free. So that's our oiling and greasing tip for this week. If you have questions, ask on the video, because we can come back and answer your questions for you. Well, what's your guys' thoughts? Anything you think of that we should cover in grease and oil that we may have missed, guys? You think we got the basics covered?
Yeah, just don't over oil. Don't
Exactly.
be very what's the word?
Lightly.
Lightly. Yes.
You can always add more down the
I usually
road.
like to put 1 or 2 drops on the gears and let it roll around. You want the oil to do its job,
You want it to penetrate the bushing.
and not like your gears. Because I mean, if you load up with the outer gears with grease, it picks up dirt, and it tends to lug the motor down. I've seen it where it lugs the engine down, so the engine doesn't run smooth because it's
Or you get one motor running faster and one motor running slower.
because too much grease is lugging.
And yeah, they do cause some issues. But other than that, how's the church coming along?
Bill needs a church. This is actually, we got a church in, like we were talking about, you've been talking about how cheap Plasticville is. I mean, this is today a modern Plasticville. This is the church, and
Runs about what the new ones run about $25, I think it is.
$24.99.
And those we sell for about
Yeah,
what, $8 to $10?
Yeah, $8 to $10. This is one that came in the shop, and if it stays together. This is what the kit looks like out of the box. Pretty basic. It all comes apart.
Well, they're only snapped together. They were meant to be taken apart and put back together year to year
Yeah, I mean,
for
Christmas.
for Christmas.
For your
And like
holiday.
I've said before, I mean, for people who are starting out in the hobby, whether it be I don't think they really never made them in an N scale, but HO.
I have a whole collection of HO ones myself.
There's a nice
HO,
little bell in it.
Lion, O gauge, Lionel. These are cheap buildings for someone don't have a whole lot of money. You're new in it. Add a little paint, just adding some paint to it.
We're last week we were talking about Anthony from Cleveland,
Yeah.
Ohio. He's building one. He actually built one and sent one in for us. This is one he had done. I mean, it's nice to compare to the original.
Well, before and after shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
much.
he added some extra stuff to it, I
Yeah,
think.
he
mean-
added a couple extra details to it.
But does that look like the same building?
No,
No,
looks really good detailed
I mean
out.
this a little effort like this bumps it up to almost like a Woodland Scenics kit,
You know,
which is like
and
$100.
you know, you go to Walmart or whatever, your craft store, get the cheap craft paints, and you know, it's water based, and away you go.
He did, yeah. He painted up, added. He's got a couple gargoyles or something going on here, and a couple posts with skulls on it. He added a couple gears in here, a wood flooring. Put a wood floor on there. So
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
he put a little effort into it, and a little effort goes a long way.
Come on, people, let's see. Bill needs a church. Let's
Bill
see
needs
some
a church.
church.
Bill needs a church for the layout. This was another building he had done. It's actually
Boy
a little
Scouts.
cabin. Little cabin. And once again, you weathered it up. Little details. Got a couple figures on there. A couple add-on details. I like he's got some bats flying out of the back hole.
That's cool. Is that going in your Boy Scout cabin section?
Yeah, maybe. Somewhere in the woods. He's got some couple water jugs or gas cans in there. A couple guys with their backpacks.
Cool.
Once again, little detail goes a long way.
I think we covered everything for today.
But yeah, I mean, they just show you people out there, you know, what a plastic building looks like out of the box, and what you can turn a plastic building into.
Yeah. I know. Thinking of question and answers. We had several times, whatever, people can come in who buy new tube track, like O gauge or 27.
A lot of them ask how to get it together.
Yeah, not exactly. Because when these are brand new, you like kill yourself trying to get it. So one tip that I always point out when customers come in:
One pin at a time.
take one pin, and just go down it real quickly, one at a time. It just kind of opens it up just enough.
Years ago, there was a company that made one of these tools that you clamped on either side. It was so ridiculous. And then I wound up with one, and I'm like, I got it. It takes more time to put the thing together. You know, it was like somebody had a good idea, but it's just a lot easier to do one pin at a time.
And
That's the way Grandpa taught us.
see how easy it went together once
You stretch the hole out.
Yeah, and you just got to stretch. It just stretched out just enough to put it together. So you still got a tight connection. Granted, you do that 5, 6, 10 times, you're going to get your loose connection. But
Well, that's what the pliers are for.
we've
To
had
tighten
a
up the
few
pin
people
if you
bring
have
track
to.
back, say this track's defective. I can't get it together. No. Just
No, it takes a little bit of oomph.
yeah, just open them up a little bit. That'd be fine. The other thing I want to talk a little bit was I noticed the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum up in Strasburg opened up. A lot of railroad museums are starting to open back up.
It was open the other week when I was up there.
Yeah, it was like
When I was up at Strasburg.
Yeah, 'cause it's the thing. Everything's
Actually, they opened that Sunday.
a lot of things are starting to open up. It sounds I think Greenberg.
the Greenberg
Bird
show.
shows are going to start coming back a little bit under. They in their article they're structured a little different. Some people are still there, some people aren't.
You're going to spread it out a little more from what I understood.
Um,
The tables.
Probably until the whole pandemic thing's completely over. But
But
but-
from behind the scenes, the people have changed a little bit.
yes, but one thing to do is start looking for them. I think what's it August. They're going to have one here. I think they're starting out in Monroeville, PA. I think in July, end of July or something like that. But I think you can go onto their. I think if you still.
So
Let's see.
we're planning on doing the Oak Show.
Yes,
here
Oak
at
Show.
PA.
Yep.
We got Oaks coming up for us. Then we have a local one in here. It's only a one-dayer for our club. It's our here in Lansdale Founders Day, and then right after that, then we're gonna have the
Run for
Run
fun.
for Fun.
Run for Fun returns, huh?
The Run for Fun returns. I had a lot of people that are excited about coming for the Run for Fun. And actually we're doing Brian's engine. I think we're going to start selling tickets for that now.
Yeah, starting this week. This week we'll have...
Start the raffle tickets. They're $10 a ticket for... That will be helping the kids in Brian's name at the Children's Hospital.
St. Jude's.
At St. Jude's. That went well the last time, and I hope this time we do just as well.
What we raised
for
the
the
last
kids.
time? Like
Over $5,000. Yes.
Almost $6,000.
Yep.
How about we can see if we can't do
Another $6,000.
yeah, at least another $6,000 and make it like a nice $12,000. Because the last guy who won it donated it back so we can re-auction it. So
Hopefully the person that gets it this time keeps it.
or, hey, who knows? Maybe
I hope he gives it back.
Back, you know. Hey, we who knows? This train could generate. You know, you never know.
I understand.
I mean,
it could generate quite a
Maybe
bit.
12,000. If we could get another $5,000 or $6,000, that's like almost $12,000 for St. I mean, in the medical field, that doesn't go far, but. Yeah,
Well, it does for the parents that don't have the money to
But
bring
I'm
their
just saying.
kid to the hospital.
What I'm saying. It doesn't matter. I mean, just in the what it costs for the medical
I
cost.
understand.
You know.
But that main thing goes into helping those kids of families that can't afford the insurance.
You know.
And that's the most important.
Or where the insurance doesn't cover. You know.
Exactly.
You hear that
And
all the
I
time.
know from my own self, from my cancers, and I know some of my bills were expensive, but luckily I had the right people, the right backing, and
You didn't get insurance. You know.
well, it was what the insurance didn't cover.
My only other thought was I saw at Steamtown finished the cosmetic restoration of the Big Boy up there, and they actually, I was kind of a little disappointed. They kind of didn't tell nobody they were moving it, I guess. And they put it's in its new spot in the parking lot. It's actually where normally the T1
Reading was.
the Reading T1 normally is.
Yep.
Yeah. So they put it in the parking lot, which is nice because I like when you drive it. I always like seeing the T1 there. So when you come to the parking lot, you know you can see all sides.
I thought the picture was funny. I'm trying to stick it on the turntable. I think the engine just barely fit on the turntable.
Yeah, I think they just go straight through, don't they?
I forget. I was only up there once.
I think it just goes straight through. If you want to see a cosmetically restored, I think it's really nice looking. Stop up at Steamtown. I think they have solar powered lights in it now to work so the number boards and the headlight are on all the time.
What's that one? 4012
Yeah.
up there, I believe.
Yeah. And that's all I got.
That's all I got. I think it's a night. And with that said, I guess it's Walt's turn this week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
Happy Mother's
Happy
Day,
Mother's
Mom.
Day, Mom.